After I won dollar 100K and the lottery, my family bombarded me with guilt trips and greedy demands to share the blessing. They didn't ask how I was, only how much I'd give. But when I just needed help moving, my dad snapped, "We're not your damn slaves." My sister rolled her eyes and said, "The only thing you're good for is your money, not your problems." I stared at them and said, "One word noted." I made a move they never expected. Their screaming voicemails, "You were supposed to take care of us after everything we've done for you." I just sat back, smiled, and thought, exactly, after everything. So this has been like eating at me for days, so I'm just dumping. And here, if you think this sounds fake ID. You see, I wish it was. I'm not looking for advice or sympathy. I just want to put it somewhere BC. Honestly, my brain is still buzzing. So anyway, here's the first thing that was weird. My dad, Frederick, never really talked to me in the mornings, but a couple of weeks ago, I'm eating cereal at the counter, and he comes in, eyes all baggy like he hasn't slept, and just stands there, watching me, then goes, some people pay rent even at their own blood's table. Not like a joke, just flat. I remember thinking, "BTF, is that supposed to mean?" But I just kind of shrugged it off. I guess he thought he was being deeper. Something backstory: I'm 27, still at home, not by choice, just couldn't get ahead enough to move out after I blew through my savings last. You don't even ask, it's boring. My family's never been like war. My mom, Laura, is all about her church group and pretending we're close. But mostly she's just worried about what people think. My sister Paisley is a pro at not being around unless you want something. She moved out with her BF last year, barely talks to us unless you need to do her laundry. Dad is 80K just there. We're not outright at each other's throats or anything, just more like rude roommates who don't like each other much. So yeah, out of nowhere, I win the lottery. Not like retire for life money, but 100 grand. I didn't tell anyone at first, just sat on it for a few days because I honestly didn't know what to do. It's not enough to buy a house or anything, but it's more than I've ever had. I figured I'd pay off my truck, maybe finally move out, try to get my own thing going. I was actually excited for once. Course that lasted about 2 seconds. BC, my cousin Nathan, he's always trying to be in everyone's business, constantly flexing on Snap about stuff he doesn't even own, found out somehow. I think he saw an email or something on my open laptop when he was over from my mom's birthday. Next thing I'm getting text from him like, "Yo, you gonna take us to Vegas?" And I'm just broke, please. Within a day, it's all over group chat. Then my phone starts blowing up with, "Heard the news, so happy for you. And don't forget your family, and God has blessed you. Now you can bless others." Laura posts some passive-aggressive prayer about gratitude and generosity on Facebook. Even old neighbors are liking it. I'm literally getting tagged in stuff about sharing your gifts. And I haven't even cashed the damn check yet. No one asks how I'm doing or what my plan is or anything. It's all, "So what's the first thing you're going to buy for your mom?" Paisley comes over and just stands in the kitchen with her arms crossed, asking if I'm going to do the right thing and help out. She says she and her BF could use a little help with rent just for a couple months, nothing huge. I say I haven't even got the money. Yet she acts all offended, starts scrolling on her phone like I'm not even there. Frederick doesn't say anything for days, just keeps slamming drawers and walking around like he's mad about something. Finally, he sits down next to me and out of nowhere, Air says, "We took you in when you had nowhere else to go." Like, "Yeah, you're my dad." I didn't realize I was running up a tab. He starts going on about how hard things have been, how sometimes you gotta step up for the family. I say, I need to get my own place, maybe pay off some stuff. He just laughs, says that selfish, says I need to pay it forward forever. The thing they've done, it gets worse. When I asked for help packing up my stuff, I finally found a tiny apartment, nothing fancy, just wanted some space. I ask if anyone can help me move next weekend, just with the big stuff, and Frederick blows up. He says, "We're not your damn slaves, don't expect us to break our back so you can run away and act like you're better than us." Laura doesn't say anything, just sits there on her phone pretending not to hear. Paisley rolls her eyes, says, "The only thing I'm good for is my money, definitely not my problems." I just stare at them like I can't even believe this is real. I say, "Noted, that's it, just that one word." I get up and walk out. Paisley actually laughs, says I'm being dramatic. Frederick starts ranting about kids these days. Laura still scrolling. I hear a door slam. When I leave later that night, my phone starts blowing up again. Voicemails, texts, guilt trips, full on screaming about how I'm supposed to take care of them after everything they've done. From how could I be so ungrateful? I just sit there listening, not even mad, just kind of numb. And then I realize this is it. This is what they were. Really think of me, not a son, not a brother, just a wallet. So yeah, I'm done not even going to try to explain myself anymore. They wanted to make it about money, fine. Let's see what happens next. Not gonna lie, I've got something planned, not out of spite. Just tired of being the backup plan. If they want to see what ungrateful looks like, I'll show them. Will update if anyone cares. Update 1. It's wild how people can act like you're invisible one day. Then the next they're suddenly obsessed with every move you make. I moved out a week after the last met, barely said a word to anybody. Packing up, Paisley was at her BF Laura had some church thing, and Frederick just sat in the living room scrolling through his phone, acting like I was a ghost, not a single hand to help me load my stuff. Even when I dragged the old futon out and banged it against the wall, I got one box stuck in the stairwell and just left it wedged there. No one cared, not even a text thought that was the end of it. For a sec wrong first night. And my new place, I got like 12 voicemails, all variations of "you'll regret this, real family doesn't walk out, hope you enjoy your prey. Show us money." Paisley even deemed me on Insta with a vid of her and her BF at some bar. Caption: "Thanks for nothing, king. You could have at least brought us around." Like, who even posts that? I ignored all of it. I didn't even have my wife. I hooked up yet was just using data, lying on the floor. BC. I didn't have a couch. Felt more peaceful than any day at home, TBH. The weird part is how fast the tone switched after that. At first, Laura was still on her Facebook grind, posting those vague memes about ungrateful kids and how you never know how much your parents sacrifice. I saw a couple comments from our church friends, stuff like "praying for you, hope he sees the light." Whatever. I thought about replying just for the drama, but couldn't be bothered. 3 days in, I get a text from Nathan, the cousin who started all this. Like, "A man, your dad says you're in trouble. Everything okay?" I just hit him back with a thumbs up. Not even gonna get into it with that guy. Next thing, Laura calls, leaves long voicemail about how Frederick's blood pressure is up and she can't sleep at night, and how the landlord's been calling about the rent. Then she ops the line about how if I really love them, I'd help out while things are rough. Never mind that they never mentioned money being tight before. But now it's my job to fix everything because I got lucky once I started piecing stuff together. Paisley texts next, complaining about how her BF car broke down and she's stranded. She sends a then request for $300, doesn't even say hi to. Hours later, she uncensored and sends another for $500, says it's just in case. I ignore both. She tags, "Nice guess, you're too busy counting your money." I don't even reply. I figured they tried to guilt trip me. But what got me was how fast they tried to make me responsible for their mess. Laura never once asked how my move went or if I needed any. Frederick, nothing but silent treatment. Then suddenly he's texting me late at night, saying things like, "You should remember who raised you, don't forget who's always been there." It's crazy how they can rewrite history and act like I've been carried my whole life. Reality check: I did everything myself, from finding jobs to fixing my own car, while Paisley always got a pass. BC. She was the girl in Laura's favorite TV age. Frederick never liked me much either. He always saw me as a burden. I think he liked having someone to boss around. IDK. So here's the part where I stopped feeling bad. I got a call from the landlord, who I've known since high school, just from around town, and he's like, "Hey, just checking if everything's okay with your folks. They haven't paid rent too much." I'm like, "That's news to me. I don't live there anymore." He says, "Yeah, I heard your mom mention something about you winning big, so I figured she'd be alright." I tell him straight up, I'm not bailing them out, not my problem. He's still about it. But I can tell he's annoyed. I realize Laura and Frederick were planning to squeeze me for the rent, acting like it was an emergency. But they'd been behind before I even won anything. They just never told me. I guess they figured I'd just roll over and pay up like always now. So I start thinking if they want to play games, I can play to. Landlord says the lease is up in a month. I ask what happens if they can't pay. He says, "Well, they're out unless someone else takes it over." I tell him, "Let me know if you want a new tenant. I might be interested." He laughs, says, "We'll see. I'm not promising anything, but I got options." Stuff escalates over the next week. Paisley shows up at my building. Don't ask me how she got the address. Probably Nathan bangs on the door demanding I come out. I opened it a crack. She tries to push past me, says she needs a place to crash. I block the door, tell her no. She try nice to slap me, misses, then throws her bag down. I tell her to take it and leave. She stands there yelling about how I'm selfish, how I don't care about anyone but myself. Neighbors are watching. I just stand there, arms crossed, let her rant. Finally, she grabs her stuff and storms off, slams the door so hard it rattles the frame. Next day, Frederick calls. Nice, all shaky, says he's coming over. I say don't bother, I'm busy. He shows up anyway, pounding on the door. I don't let him in. He leaves a nasty voicemail about how he's ashamed to call me a son, however ruin the family. I just delete it. Couple Days later, Laura texts, says she needs to talk, says she's sorry if they were harsh, but family comes first, I tell her. Family goes both ways. She ignores that, says she's praying from I leave her on read. What gets me is how no one even tries to ask what I'm doing or if I'm okay. It's all about what I can do, for they act like I'm some kind of 80. I know why though. Frederick's always been about power. Laura cares what her friends think, and Paisley's been spoiled since day one. I used to feel bad about. But now I just feel done. I keep getting these calls from people I barely know, like old friends of Frederick's or Laura's church ladies, saying I should help out, that it's what a good son does. I don't even bother explaining. People believe what they want to believe. Nathan Tech again says people are talking, asking why I'm not helping. I tell him to mind his business. He sends a thumbs down. I blah. Maybe things would just die down, like I'm out there mad, whatever, though, get tired and move on. But honestly, it just got 100 times messier and pettier, the way people get when you say no and actually mean it. You can tell who's ever been told no before. Random thing I noticed, Paisley starts posting those "some people will use you and spit you out" store. She's on her Insta tagging nobody. But like, it's about me. Frederick's acting like he's a king of silent treatment. But then Laura starts up the old group chat with these long-winded updates on what we're going through as a family, like I'm not reading them, and just ignoring. Nathan even tries to get in touch with me again, asking if I'm ready to be a real man and take care. My responsibilities, I just left him on read. I'm not here for his little side drama. Anyway, the pressure starts getting weird. First, it's little stuff like Laura texts, all polite, says she's praying for me, then slips in that the electric bill's a bit high this month, not sure how we'll make it work. Paisley snaps me a pic of her fridge, says guess we'll be eating ice cube. Oops, for dinner. I'm not even at home anymore. But they act like it's my fault. Frederick's still silent. But I can tell he's mad. He asks Laura for stuff in the background loud enough for me to hear on speaker, like if only some people would help, like be subtle. At least I'm not answering any of it. I just keep living my life, pay my own bills, buy my own groceries, fix my own stuff. It's not glamorous, but I finally have peace. Still, I can't really relax because I know they're about to pull something. It's just how they are. Laura's always been about her image. Frederick wants to look like the provider Paisley can't handle. Not getting her. I knew they'd never just let me go. Then I get a DM from a girl I barely remember from high school. She says, hey, your mom been sharing a GoFundMe for emergency family expenses. I'm like, what? She sends me the link. It's Laura writing about unexpected hardship. Our son left us in a bad spot, with a sad pic of the house and everything. People from church are donating, leaving comments like praying for your family and children these days. I'm just staring at this thing like, are you joking? They didn't even ask me, didn't even tell me. I post a comment on it. I know, petty. But I couldn't help it. I write, maybe try asking the son you kicked out for help before begging stranger. Laura deletes it in like 5 minutes. Then I get a text, all caps, from her. How dare you embarrass me? You know nothing about sacrifice. I ignore it. Next day, Frederick calls me, doesn't even say hi, just starts yelling, says I'm ruining the family, says I'm selfish, says I'm making them look bad. I hang up. Paisley tries to FaceTime me. I answer. She starts crying fake as hell, says she's scared he'll be homeless, says it's all my fault. I tell her, you're not my problem. She yells, then throws her phone at the wall. I hear it hit, then she hangs up. Then I get a call from the landlord. He says your parents are 3 months behind. They keep saying you're gonna help. I tell him straight I'm not paying. I ask if he's planning to kick them out. He says lease is almost up. If they don't pay, they're done. Then he asks if I want the place. I say maybe, let me know. That's when I decide I'm not just gonna ignore them. I'm going to make it clear. So I message the landlord, say I'll pay a deposit, but only if other out on time, no grace period. He laughs, says deal. I know it sounds cold, but honestly, they made their bed. I'm not their bank. If they want to cry to the neighborhood, fine. But I'm not budging. After that, the guilt trips get nuclear. Laura starts calling church friends, telling them I'm abandoning the family. I get a call from one of her friends who's like, I just can't believe you do this to your parents. I tell her you don't know the whole story. She says, well, you should be grateful. I say sure, have a nice day. Paisley shows up at my place again, tries to push her with, says you need to shower, says she needs to eat. I tell her to leave or I'll call the building manager. She slow apps me hard, then just stands there waiting for me to react. I don't. She finally storms off, slams the door. Frederick tries to get into my building the next day, tells the front desk I'm his son and it's an emergency. The desk I text me says there's an angry old dude downstairs. I tell him don't let him up. Frederick hangs around the parking lot for an hour, then leaves. Later I get off Voicemail Justin breathing heavy muttering about how I'm dead to him. I deleted the GoFundMe gets taken down after Law realizes people are asking questions like where's your son? And all this, she sends me a paragraph about how I've ruined everything, how she'll never forgive me. Paisley posts the story of her crying, tags me, says some people only care of out money. I laugh and block her. So now they're out of options, the landlord text says. They're gone, end of the month, place is yours. If you want it, just sign. I say yeah. I'll take it. I know that's savage, but I don't care anymore. They showed me exactly what I meant to be. As long as I was useful, now they get to see what happens when I'm not. I guess they thought I'd cave, but all I did was say no and stick to it. You want to treat me like an ATM? Fine. See how you do without the card. Next step's coming. And it's gonna be even more real. We'll update, final update. So here we go, 6 months since all that drama kicked off, and I swear it's like I'm living in some weird alternate version of my own life. You ever drive by somewhere you used to live, and it looks smaller than you remember? That's the vibe, except this time, I'm the one behind the wheel, window down, music up. And honestly, I half expected to feel something. Turns out, not much, just a weird kind of satisfaction. I guess the first thing that gave me pause. Paisley's boyfriend's car was parked crooked as hell in front of the old house, and there were moving boxes stacked up on the porch. That's not normal for them. They're the type to make a big deal about not being trashy, never left stuff outside. But it's all just there, like they gave up trying to hide the mess. I slow down, sip my coffee, and watch Frederick pacing the yard, and his slippers, muttering with his phone glued to his ear. Laura, standing on the porch, hair all messy, staring at her phone, probably too checking Facebook for sympathy. Paisley's hunched on the top step, hoodie up, scrolling, not even looking up. I almost laugh. If you've been following, you know. I signed a lease for this place a while back. Landlord called me, said you want it. It's yours, just wait till the end of the month. I said fine, whatever, just let me know when. Didn't say a word to anyone, just paid the depart. It sorted the paperwork. I've been driving by every so often just to see, but mostly keeping my distance. So week before the handoff, I get a text from Laura. All sudden, sweet, hope you're doing well. The house is going through some changes. Maybe you'd like to come by. Reconnect, see the family, you know, it's bait, right? They want something. I don't reply. Paisley tries to. 2 days later, says she needs to talk, says she's sorry for how things went, then most me a request for $100. I decline. She uncensored, then texts, guess you really don't care. I say nothing. Frederick calls the next day, gets my voicemail, leaves a message about how men don't let their families suffer, says I owe them after everything. I delete it, no hesitation. Then comes moving day. I pull up just as they're carrying the last of their stuff out. Laura sees me first, tries to wave, but I just get out of the car, unlock the gate, and walk right past her. She tries to do the whole let's talk, let's work this out routine. I don't even pause. Paisley stands up, blocks the door, says this isn't right, says I'm not family if I do this. I look at her, then at Frederick, who's just glaring, arms crossed, jaw tight. He mutters, after everything, you're really gonna do this? I just step around them, unlocked it.